Welcome to the Gastro Guru long weekend edition. We're going to be making up 3 amazing gin cocktails and queuing up some awesome food like quesadillas and a grilled salad. But first, as always, we got to start off with a cocktail. So in a shaker, half full of ice, I'm going to add in this beautiful Hibiscus Rose Gin from H2. So I'm going to pour that in there, and then some blackberries. They're so great and they're in season right now, and these guys are huge. So I'm going to throw these into the shaker and shake it up to pulverize. What that does is it's a beautiful chemical reaction between the alcohol and the fruit, so it breaks down the pith and gets all those jewels of fruit in there. Next, I'm gonna add on a little bit of lime. So this is a really cool trick. I have some dried rose petals and some tagine. This is a beautiful, like lemon, spicy kind of salt mixture. That with the rose petals is gonna look incredible on this beautiful summer cocktail. So I'm just gonna roll this around and get the petals on there. And this is also gonna provide some amazing aromatics. I'm gonna pour this in. Oh, look at that color. Already you get that great hibiscus and rose nose. And then I'm topping it up with some Fever Tree ginger beer. This is gonna give some nice little bit of spice and heat. So it's a nice juxtaposition of the sweet to the heat. And of course, we gotta try this before we start making up our salad dressing. Cheers. Oh, that's awesome. And with the salt and the heat from the tagine on the rim, it just brings everything together. Beautiful cocktail. Okay, so now let's get down to work. We're gonna be making up a beautiful vinaigrette. So first I'm gonna add in some hibiscus rose. It's always great to be able to add your spirits into your cooking to really bring the flavors together on a menu. So I've got a good healthy 4 ounces in there. Next I'm gonna add in 3/4 of a cup of fresh raspberries. I've got half a cup of rice wine vinegar, and then 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And we're gonna put in some agave syrup. This has got some really nice flavor and it brings in sort of like an earthy tone instead of using white sugar, plus it's a little bit healthier. Next, I've got some nice aromatic salt. Add a couple of dashes of that, a dash of Worcestershire, and then I've got this beautiful olive oil that I've been infusing with fresh garlic and chilies from our garden. So this is gonna add a little bit of heat and some savory tones. And then of course, we're gonna blend this bad boy up. It's always great when you're making a vinaigrette to let it sit for about an hour before you serve it, which is why we're making it right now. Don't wanna overmix because you wanna keep it nice and chunky. So that is pretty much perfect. Let's just taste here. Oh, that is so bang on. And again, the aromatics, and you've got some nice thickness and viscosity, so it's gonna coat those beautiful arugula leaves and our fabulous grilled fruits. So now, let's start making our quesadillas with chorizo. So now we're gonna start working on our chorizo and grilled pineapple mango quesadillas that we're gonna do on the grill. So I'm using a dry Spanish chorizo. You may ask, what is that? Well, it means that you can actually eat it the way that it is. And what I'm gonna do is fry this up with our onions and sweet bell peppers with a little bit of hot sauce and cilantro. This is really gonna help to meld the flavors together and bring the goodness. Just make sure that your chorizo doesn't roll away like that. But if you're gonna use a wet chorizo, what I would recommend doing is throwing it on the grill to be able to tighten up the actual sausage casings, and then putting it into the frying pan to fry it up with all your beautiful veggies. We're gonna be grilling up all of this as well on the barbecue. But first, I just wanna get this frying so that by the time the fruit is all done, our quesadillas will be ready to get grilled up perfectly. So, let's throw all of this into the pan. Oh, and we gotta add in some Latin lover hot sauce. This stuff is amazing. I'm gonna pour that over the onions and then toss it all into the pan all at once and get these guys going. So we're just skipping up all of our ingredients for the quesadillas. The chorizo is really looking great, and all the oil and the fat is coagulating around the veggies, giving it some amazing flavor. So let's get our fruits and cheese ready to be grilled. So we're gonna be grilling up some watermelon for our fabulous salad. So what you want to do is just slice it up into manageable slices, and we're just going to put this directly onto a really nice hot grill. It's going to char and caramelize all the sugars from the watermelon, and man, is that ever going to build some amazing flavor. And it's great against the nuttiness of the arugula. This is such a cool trick that makes it so easy. Now, what you want to make sure is that you cool down the watermelon before you put it onto your salad. Otherwise, it's going to wilt all the leaves, and we don't want that. We want it to stay nice and fresh. So we're going to add this on here. We've got our pineapple, we've got our mango, and then this is Haloumi cheese. You can grill it, you can fry it. It's a semi-firm cheese, tastes amazing, has a little bit of saltiness to it, and it cooks beautifully. It's just awesome to add into salads. You can put it over steak. It also tastes great with seafood. It's mild, it has a little bit of salty flavor to it, and it's just a really cool texture to add into your salads. So we're gonna do all of that. You may be looking at all that bread. I know I've got some challah bread, and I'm gonna be toasting that up to make some great croutons. So while that's cooking away, let's get on the grill and cook these bad boys up. So we've got our grill cranked up, but first we gotta make another cocktail. So I'm gonna be using H2's Indigo Gin. This is so incredible. We're gonna add it in at the end. So in a shaker, half full of ice. I've got a beautiful mango puree. Next, I've got a little bit of pineapple juice. So we've got sweet, a little bit of acidity, some fruitiness, and I'm sure you're looking at that glass and wondering, what is that? That is a crimson pepper. So what I did is I just put it across the rim of the glass, and all that's gonna do is give that beautiful, intense spiciness. So we're not gonna taste it, we're only gonna smell the aromatics. So I'm gonna pour this into the glass. Nothing like having a cocktail when you're grilling on a nice hot barbecue. And we've got the cocktail cam right there. So next I'm gonna add in the butterfly pea bush gin. So this is really, really cool. I'm gonna float it right up on top, and it goes from blue to purple. So the acidity of the drink changes the color of the gin, and it just makes it into an awesome, beautiful looking cocktail. And we're still not done. So I'm gonna use my living garden here. We're gonna grab some fresh cilantro, and we're gonna put the cilantro right up on top. So again, we've got the nice smokiness, the heat that we're only getting the nose of, and then the sweetness of the cocktail, but we're still not done. So I've got some edible flowers. This is just beautiful. You can also eat these. So we've got a pansy, and it looks absolutely amazing in the cocktail. So we've got the purple, the orange, because hey, if it doesn't look good, it's never gonna taste good. Cheers, guys. Let's get grilling. Oh, amazing. Okay, let's get to the food. So first we're gonna throw on our pineapple, since it's gonna take the longest. So I'm gonna place it right on the grill directly above the heat. You wanna make sure that you've got your grills nice and hot so the pineapple doesn't stick. Next, we're gonna add on our mango. Again, we're gonna put this onto the top rack to get it nice and hot. They're thicker pieces, and we want them to caramelize and get those great grill marks on there. Really wanna be able to bring up the sweetness of the mango. So we've got all that going on. Also, try not to singe all the hair off your hands. Boom, 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 on there. Next, the watermelon. And this is so beautiful. I love doing this. And people are always like, man, how can you do that? But it looks so good, and you get all the great grill marks. Don't even need to add oil. Again, just really nice hot grill. I mean, that's the key to barbecuing anytime. Already, I can smell just the essential oils are popping off of the food. And then the cheese. So we're gonna add the cheese, but this time we're gonna add a little bit of oil. So I'm gonna put it on the top rack. And then I'm just gonna use a little bit of infused olive oil. You can use any kind of olive oil that you want. I like it with a little bit of herbs and some chilies in there. But we got it on that grill cam, and I'm just gonna stroke it on there. Oh my God, that looks beautiful. There we go. The last one I'm gonna put on, oh, I forgot some cheese. The last one that we're gonna put on is the actual bread, since that is gonna toast up in just a matter of seconds. I already let it stale so that it's gonna get nice and crunchy. And boom, we'll let that sit for a little while, and then we're gonna be making up our quesadillas and finishing off the salad. One more cocktail to make. So I'm gonna be taking off all of our fruit. The mango is looking awesome. It's so soft inside. We got a little bit of charring on the edges, so we know we've got the caramelization happening. The pineapple is gonna take just a little bit longer, so I'm leaving it on while I take the rest off. You gotta always remember that it's constantly cooking. Just because you're taking one ingredient off doesn't mean the rest aren't going. The watermelon, oh, this is sexy. So good. And I'm gonna show you a really cool trick on how to get the watermelon looking beautiful on your salad. I'm just gonna add that guy in. Oh, they're slippery and they're hot. Yes, baby. Okay, so the watermelon is done and it looks amazing. I'm gonna move this over. You can see that the halloumi cheese is actually hardening up. It's a semi-hard cheese. So when it gets cold, it sticks together really nicely, and that's how we can cut it up into cubes. And the pineapple is looking perfect. Look at that. Bread all done. Guys, we're ready to put this feast together, and we got one more cocktail. So, you know how I told you that we're gonna be doing something really cool with the watermelon? Well, this is it. I'm using an apple core to make little spheres of watermelon to go into our salad. So it looks really cool. I mean, come on. It doesn't take that much to make it look great, so you might as well. Plus, it really looks interesting with the char marks all over them. And man, does this ever taste good. Now, you're probably thinking, Jared, look at that waste. This is not waste. You know what I do with that? I wind up pulverizing it and making it into a watermelon simple syrup. And use that for margaritas, you can use it for daiquiris, you can even do old fashions with it. Nothing ever goes to waste in this kitchen. So I'm just gonna continue chopping these little guys out. They're gonna go into our salad, and then we're gonna start to put together our quesadillas. So as you can see, I've already chopped up all the pineapple, the mango, and we've got the halloumi cheese in there. So everything is getting ready to go. I'm gonna put together the quesadillas and I'm gonna pop it back onto the barbecue. And there we have it. These guys are all done. I'm gonna scoop them all up, place them in there. We're gonna add in our halloumi cheese, break it all up. I love cheese, you can never have too much. And if you do have too much, you can always add it on top of your steak that you're gonna be grilling the next day. So, and here we go. Our croutons are perfect. And I like pistachios, so I'm gonna throw some pistachios in there. We've got our beautiful, awesome gin-based vinaigrette with that indigo gin. And I'm just gonna toss that up. Now, here's the tip. I always like to make up a lot of different dressings. As long as they're capped, add a little bit of citric acid to them. So a little bit of orange, a little bit of lime, a little bit of lemon, just before you're gonna serve it, and it really helps to spruce it up with that little bit of acidity. I'm gonna let that guy stay there, and let's get working on our quesadillas. So we're gonna add in our pineapple, and we've got our mango. Oh, I love this recipe. So you got the sweet, the savory, the hot, and then mix it all up. And I'm gonna show you the first one. We're gonna wrap it up. The grill is still on because we're gonna grill these bad boys in a nice aluminum foil envelope. So here we go. Let's get our aluminum together, make some space. And I'm gonna drop down the tortilla. Now, always put cheese on both sides, otherwise you're gonna get slippage. Nobody likes slippage on their quesadillas. I'm gonna pick out some more of the fresh cilantro out of our garden. And by putting in a little bit of water on the bottom, it keeps it fresh, and see how it's staying up nice and straight? That's exactly what you want. You don't want it to be wilted. So let's add this in here. And then we're gonna top it with some more cheese. Oh, this looks so great. It's so beautiful and colorful. And the smell, oh, it's just, I want to eat this right now, but I can't because we're filming a show. But we're gonna put this on here, and here's the next tip, guys. When you're folding these things, make sure you fold it the exact same amount per quesadilla. The reason is you want them to all be cooking at the exact same rate. So if you have too much foil on one side, it's gonna change it. So here we go. We've got a good sheet on each. We're gonna fold it over, make it nice and tight. See how I'm doing a fold on one side and then I'm doing a fold on the bottom? Again, it's so that it cooks at an even rate. I'm gonna keep on doing these, toss them on the grill, and then I'm gonna see you on the flip side with our last cocktail and the big reveal. So here we go, guys. This is our long weekend feast. We've got our grilled halloumi and fresh fruit arugula salad in our hibiscus gin vinaigrette. We've got our chorizo grilled mango pineapple quesadillas paired up with our beautiful passion fruit indigo cocktail. So we've got the last one. It's a spiritless cocktail, so there's no alcohol, but it tastes like a cocktail. And you may be asking, what is this beautiful thing in here? This is a fruit bomb, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to use it. So in these beautiful molds, which you can find all over the place, I'm gonna press a bunch of fruit. So I've got some blackberries, some blueberries, a raspberry, and I'm gonna put a little orange rind in there. So I'm just gonna take off the skin, and this just gives it some cool color, and it's stripy. So it makes it look like it's made by hand, which in fact is. So I'm gonna press this into the mold, and then in the opposite side, I'm gonna do the exact same thing. So I'm gonna press in the blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, cap it all off, tighten it up. If one falls out, pop it in your mouth, add a little bit of fruit punch, and then just pop this into your freezer. It takes about 2 hours, and then you are ready to go, and it's gonna look beautiful just like that. So let's have a little spiritless, beautiful hibiscus G&T, and of course you can spike this up with any kind of flavor you want. Oh, did that on purpose, I'm a little bit thirsty. So I'm gonna put all this together, and guys, as I always say, keep shaking, keep cooking, and keep smiling. Happy long weekend fiesta. Cheers. Oh, that's amazing.